Welcome to our channel, where we update the dramatic, surprising and unpredictable developments from the hit series Beyond the Gates. Make sure you follow and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the earth-shattering secrets that are gradually being revealed. And now, let's enter a terrible shock that is shaking both the past and present of the characters. The unimaginable truth about Leslie and the blood relationship that has been buried for nearly 3 decades. It all started with a seemingly normal medical examination during the review of a bone marrow transplant application related to another patient. However, the genetic results collected from the National DNA Bank unexpectedly created an unexpected connection between Leslie, a person who had no connection with anyone's past, and Anita, a legendary star who dominated every stage, every news, and every look in the entertainment world in the 90s. The unmistakable DNA match revealed a horrifying truth. Leslie was Anita's biological daughter, the child she was forced to give up at the height of her career, amid scandal, pressure and threats from forces behind the halo. No one had ever expected it. No premonition had ever reminded Leslie that the blood in her body was the blood of a star who had shaken the world. When this information was revealed, not only was Leslie stunned, but the entire gruesome past behind Anita's decision to abandon her child was also dug up. At the time Leslie was born, Anita was facing a sex scandal with a high-ranking politician, which could have completely destroyed the image of a silver screen queen that she had built. The pregnancy was living proof of betrayal, and the managers forced her to choose: keep the baby and lose everything, or remove the baby from her life to protect her reputation. Refusing to abort but also not daring to publicly become a single mother, Anita gave her baby to a secret adoption agency, completely erased her name from the papers, and pledged never to contact her again. All she kept was a newborn photo, a few notes, and a scar in her heart that lasted for many years. Leslie grew up in a different family, not knowing anything about her background. She became a strong, successful person but always felt that something was missing that could not be named. She believed she was the product of an ordinary, unremarkable life. Until the cruel truth stripped away all the layers. She was not just a mother's child, but the product of a cruel system that sacrificed an innocent child to maintain a hollow image. But what was even more shocking was Leslie's realization that many people around her, powerful figures in the hospital, in politics, and even in the entertainment industry, knew the secret but kept silent all this time. She was not only abandoned by her biological mother, but also by society. As if her existence was a part that needed to be forgotten. Anita, now old and secluded in a mansion filled with photos of her golden age, never expected the past to resurface in this way. She had believed that time would bury all mistakes, but she was wrong. The memory of her abandoned daughter had never faded. And when she saw Leslie's image in the media, with a face that looked exactly like her own when she was young, her heart was broken. She had no right to ask for forgiveness. But she could not live without facing it. However, what made things even more cruel was that Leslie did not want to see her, did not want to hear any explanations, and even publicly denied this blood relationship. Leslie declared that a person could abandon their own child to maintain an undeserved reputation as a mother. But things did not stop there. This shock sparked a series of other events. Reporters began to hunt down Anita's past, articles leaked secret records from the adoption agency, and those who had been paid to keep quiet began to speak out. A wave of criticism aimed at her completely destroyed Anita's image in the public eye. Sponsors and TV stations simultaneously terminated their contracts to rebroadcast her films. The woman who was once considered immortal in the hearts of the audience is now only a name associated with the phrase "a mother who abandoned her child for fame." Anita quietly accepted everything as a worthy punishment. Leslie, despite her efforts to remain calm, could not escape the growing psychological pressure. She began to have nightmares, a sense of disorientation, and haunting questions about her true worth. Could she have become a strong person if she had grown up with that artist mother? Would her life have been different if she had not been abandoned? Or had that pain trained her to become an unyielding warrior? Those questions tormented her so much that she had to temporarily quit her job, leave the city, and live in seclusion in a small coastal town. where the waves of the ocean each night could temporarily calm the storm in her heart. But the truth never slept. Those close to Leslie, who once admired her for her strength, were now worried about her rapid psychological changes. Some of them advise her to meet Anita, not to forgive, but to end things peacefully. But Leslie is not sure she has the strength. In an equally shocking twist, Leslie's real biological father, the powerful man who once had an ambiguous relationship with Anita, is also revealed. He is now a high-ranking politician, running for governor. The secret of having a child out of wedlock is made public, causing his campaign to almost collapse. But instead of confronting her, he hires people to cover up his tracks, silences the media, and even approaches Leslie with the deceitful intention of helping her reconcile with her mother when in fact he is protecting his personal image. Leslie is placed in a maze of lies, where everyone has their own interests, everyone hides part of the truth. Finally, standing in the ashes of the past and the chaos of the present, Leslie understands that only she can decide who she is and what to do with that truth. She cannot change the abandonment, nor can she force herself to forgive if it does not come from her heart. But she can choose to move on without letting the past define her. A new chapter will open, but not the chapter of a child finding his mother or a star being exposed, but the chapter of a person who dares to stand up, overcome the pain, and redefine himself. Keep following and subscribing to our channel so you don't miss the upcoming developments where the secrets that have not been revealed are bigger than you ever imagined. Because with Beyond the Gates, the past never sleeps, and the truth always carries its price.